Okay, let's be real for a second. The word networking, it just makes a lot of us cringe, right? You think of these stuffy rooms, you think of awkward small talk, and you think of a pocket full of business cards you're probably just going to throw away later. It feels like a chore, something we just have to do. But what if we've been looking at this whole thing completely backwards?
I mean, seriously, do you get that little knot in your stomach when you see one pop up on your calendar? If you do, you are so not alone. It's this feeling that you have to go perform or sell yourself, and the whole thing just feels kind of fake and totally draining.
You know, this quote from networking expert Michael Foreman just hits the nail on the head. He points out that so many of us walk around thinking, oh yeah, I know how to network. We have our old playbook. But then when it doesn't work, we get frustrated, we shut down, and we just feel like it's a complete waste of time.
So the fix here isn't some new trick or some secret opening line. The real solution actually starts way deeper. It's all about a massive mindset shift, about totally reframing how we even think about connecting with other human beings.
So instead of seeing networking as just another thing to check off your to-do list, what if you saw it as a journey? You know, a constant adventure of building real relationships and actually having fun meeting new people. I know, it sounds a little crazy, but it is absolutely possible.
So how do we get there? Well, Michael Foreman breaks this whole journey down into 3 really simple steps. You don't have to leap from hating it to loving it overnight. First, you just learn to like it. That's it. Then, once you're comfortable, you start to understand what's really going on. And only then, from that place, can you finally learn to love it, to actually look forward to it.
And to help us out, we're going to lean on the wisdom of 2 amazing coaches, Mike Hayes and Michael Foreman. Think of Mike as the innovator. He's a genius at breaking the ice in a big, crowded room. And Michael, he's the connection coach, a master of that deep, one-on-one rapport. Together, their ideas give us the complete playbook.
All right, first up, let's talk about Mike Hayes' strategy for that moment we all fear, walking into a room full of strangers. His solution is kind of brilliant. He says, turn it into a game. He calls this game the networking circle. And really, it's kind of like musical chairs, but for making connections. The whole point is to take all that pressure off of you and put the focus entirely on the other person.
And how it works is just so simple. You get everyone into 2 circles, one inside the other, facing each other. You have a super quick 30-second chat. Then the inner circle just rotates one spot. You do this a few times. But here's the kicker, the part that makes it magic. When the leader yells stop, you have to turn to the group and describe the last person you just met. This it literally forces you to listen, to pay attention, and to remember something about them. Okay, so Mike's game is awesome for getting you talking, but what happens when you're actually in the conversation? Well, this is where Michael Foreman comes in. His whole world is about mastering that one-on-one connection.
And the foundation, the secret sauce for everything he teaches, is active listening. And this is so much more than just being quiet and waiting for your turn to talk. No. It's about being fully present, concentrating so you can understand, respond with real thought, and actually remember what they said. It's about making them feel like they're the only person in the room.
So how do you actually do that? Michael gives us this super simple but incredibly powerful tool called the FORM method. It stands for family, occupation, recreation, and message. Now, this isn't some rigid interrogation script. It's just a gentle guide to help you ask better questions and find some real common ground, something beyond. So, what do?
Now, this is where it all clicks into place. See, these aren't 2 competing ideas. They're 2 halves of the same coin. One gets the energy going and breaks the ice, and the other one builds those meaningful connections that actually last.
And you can see right here how they just fit together perfectly. Mike's approach? It's all about group dynamics and energy, using his networking circle to create a buzz. Michael's approach? It's zoomed in on that one-on-one connection, using active listening and FORM to build real trust. You really need both to nail this. And honestly, underneath both of their philosophies is this one massive game-changing idea. True networking isn't about what you can get. It's about what you can give. It's a giver's gain. The second you shift your focus to, hey, how can I help this person? All that pressure to sell yourself just evaporates. So, let's wrap this all up. What does this new networking mindset really look like in the real world? Well, it's about seeing every single conversation, every interaction, not as a transaction, but as a chance for a real, genuine human connection.
And this right here is the ultimate payoff. It's what Michael Forman always says. Business, opportunities, everything, it all flows from this simple human sequence. First, people have to know you. Then they have to like you. And finally, they have to trust you. That trust, that's the whole ballgame.
So the next time you walk into one of those events, don't think of it as a chore. Think of it as a room just full of possibilities. Because when you're armed with this new mindset, you're not just collecting business cards anymore. You're building relationships. So I'll just leave you with this thought. What if that very next conversation you have is the one that changes everything?